Imagine teleporting an average person directly to the surface of Mars, right now. Even with ample food, water, and oxygen, their body would immediately experience catastrophic health failures. This vulnerability comes strictly from our biology. Our species evolved uniquely by and for Earth's very specific atmospheric and gravitational conditions. To compensate for our frailty, we currently rely on incredibly heavy mechanical armor, like this pressurized flight suit, just to survive outside our atmosphere. Treating space travel as endless cargo, constantly shipping bulky supplies from Earth, is completely unsustainable for long-term survival. But nature already invented a brilliant alternative to all this bulky machinery. It's the microbe, a self-replicating living machine. Through a field known as synthetic biology, we can now precisely edit the genes of these microscopic workhorses. These engineered organisms require barely any maintenance, and you can carry an entire colony in a single plastic tube. Rather than trying to construct impossible planet-sized glass domes, we can bring engineered organisms with us to do the terraforming and life support work for us. To understand how this works, look at the agricultural barriers on Mars. The average temperature is a bitter -60 degrees Celsius, and any water frost evaporates almost instantly. Yet, the chemical composition of Martian soil is remarkably similar to terrestrial volcanic ash. We can solve the Martian climate problem biologically by borrowing existing survival traits. We can take antifreeze genes from fish and extreme drought tolerance genes from terrestrial crops like rice. By taking these specific genetic sequences and snapping them together, we create custom plants suited for the Martian surface. Utilizing these custom plants to grow our own environment is radically more efficient than shipping Earth-grown food across the solar system. Mars is reachable in months, but the journey beyond requires staying in hermetic flying cans for years, perhaps even for entire generations. Extended time in microgravity causes severe bone loss and rapid muscle atrophy. Even worse is the unseen threat easily penetrating the ship's hull, a constant bombardment of cosmic ionizing radiation. Again, nature has a solution. There is an extremophile bacterium called Deinococcus radiodurans that easily withstands lethal doses of radiation, vacuum, and acid. Synthetic biology allows us to focus on extracting the specific genetic mechanisms that give this extremophile its radiation shield. We can then take those protective bacterial genes and splice them directly into mammalian DNA to create our own internal biological armor. Upgrading our own biological chassis provides a critical layer of protection against the lethal physics of deep space. Human populations do naturally evolve physiological traits to survive extreme environments, like Tibetans thriving in low oxygen conditions. But this natural process demands accidental mutations, immense loss of life, and thousands of years to take effect. In our push to colonize the stars, we simply do not have the luxury of time, nor the ethical allowance for natural selection to slowly cull our ranks. The biologist E.O. Wilson noted that we are moving away from an era of temporary external supplements and entering the age of volitional evolution. This means we are gaining the capacity to consciously dictate our own genetic destiny, rather than waiting for nature's accidents. This raises a difficult ethical question. Will engineering our own DNA make us fundamentally less human? Humanity is conscious star stuff, a species capable of intentional self-modification. Failing to utilize these biological tools out of fear would be a tragic waste of our species' improbable intelligence. Mars is merely our first destination. Pushing deeper into the vast, unforgiving cosmos will demand our continuous, radical adaptation. Beyond the physical void of space, the biological threshold of our own DNA represents our true final frontier.